Citizen Sleeper continues. On to a new cycle and adding out the ships back in. I can buy scrap, I can unload containers. Gets me 15 cryo. And we're on cooldowns for things here, waiting for stuff to happen. Sure. Myself some data. Can't do these again. Says that's enough for now, Sleeper. These are unavailable now. So this cycle, regarding the dice, I can't do a great deal because I'm still having to wait for these to complete. $16 cryo for the freight operator, a safe option. Gonna hang out with Mina, and that will be a chance to get some energy. Delivery job. This is the one that is potentially, well, but that dice though. I risked it, plus 24 cryo. We're done. I'm ending the cycle. Good dice this time. Hey, a quiet voice greets you as if you leave. Sleeper, it's me. Who? Do I know you? Moritz, Bliss's assistant. Moritz, he pauses. I work for Bliss. He rubs the back of his head. You're not an easy person to find. I move around. I don't really have an address. Moritz holds up his hands. Hey, no judgment. It's cool. You both stand there for a moment, each waiting for the other to speak. So, what's up? Oh yeah, well, Bliss needs you. A job just came in, a real big one. She's asking for you to come up and help her out. He nods sagely. I'll be right there. Yeah, nice, yeah. Moritz stands there for a little while, unsure if the message is delivered. I've got it. Cool. He looks around. Bliss just likes me to do a thorough job, you know. He rubs his hands together before burying them in his jacket pockets. See you, Sleeper. Moritz ambles off down the corridor, kicking at a filter cap on his way out. Time to head to Bliss's bay then. Just a check on other things. Is this ready now? Yeah. Safe option is this fungal yield. I want to harvest those mushrooms. That's what I was hoping for. Yes, I got a club head cap. Finally. Here, take it. Rico. At her bench, running small vials of some liquid through an old chemical analysis machine. The whirring of the spinning drum fills the lab with white noise, and you aren't sure if she notices you approach. Sleeper, it's good to see you. She looks up, smiling. This little project of ours has been keeping me awake the past few cycles. But right now, well, I think I have something. What is it? The drum finishes spinning, and Rico lifts a vial from it, holding it up to the light. This is something I extracted from those club heads you've been bringing me. And according to my analysis, it is a substance totally unique on the Greenway. You look at the small amount of liquid in the vial. Any idea what it might be? Rico asks, without looking away from the vial. No idea. Stabilizer? Medicine? Stabilizer. Rico nods. You aren't the first sleeper to come through here. Perhaps I should have mentioned that earlier. Rico's tone suddenly drops, changing the atmosphere in the lab immediately. I just thought. She pauses, thinking very carefully of how to continue. I just wanted you to trust us. What do you mean? She sighs. They came through a fair few cycles ago. We found them wandering in the broken section near the gap. The members who brought them in had never seen one of you before. They were terrified of this strange person wandering in from open vacuum. They were quieter than you and damaged. We did our best to patch them up and welcome them to the colony. I only really spoke to them once while I was working on their wounds along with a couple of systems engineers. She looks nervously at you. I'd never seen a body like that before. I took some readings, some samples. Samples? You have to understand I was curious. I didn't know what I was looking at. I just took a little of the damaged material, less than a thumbnail. She shifts her weight to her crotch. The next cycle they were gone. They took a little food and hiked up towards the wild margins where the greenway meets the wastes. Someone saw them in the distance, but that was it. They disappeared into the overgrowth. She sits down heavily, the vial in her hand. When I saw you, I wanted things to be different. I wanted to keep you here rather than let you disappear into wherever they ended up. She smiles to herself. Yes, I wanted to understand this place better, but I also wanted to help you. It seems that somehow both my wishes have come true at once. She holds out a hand with the vial. This is for you. You take the stabilizer, the glass cold and smooth in your palm. Thank you. Don't thank me. She gazes out at the greenway through the glass. Those club head caps made it for you. Or at least who or whatever made those club heads. She starts to clear her bench. It was right there, contained in their tissue. I only had to extract it. I imagine you understand how incredible that is. I learned enough from that sleeper to know that your body, your frame, runs on some exotic technology. Exotic technology that has a time limit built in. Somehow the Greenway knows that too. It understands your physiology much better than I ever could. It knows how to treat you. Just like that miraculous antidote that sprung from the mold. So this sprung from your presence here. The Greenway is speaking to you. It is welcoming you. She looks up. I know it sounds crazy, but I know it to be true. Here's the evidence. And what I also know is it is no longer speaking to me. Even after decades here, I have never seen this kind of response. Not since the antidote so many cycles ago. She smiles. So I'm going to make you a deal. You bring me as many club heads as you like. I'll extract the stabilizer and give it to you freely. But you have to tell me what the Greenway says. You have to speak with it, to dig into it, to find what being is at the centre of it. I've travelled as far as I can. I need you to do the rest. Can you do that? Yes. Rico sighs with relief and deflates into her chair. Thank you. I'm sorry for the other sleeper, truly I am. I'm sorry I couldn't have done more, but I'm so glad I met you. She smiles. You are welcome here any time. Rico falls silent. She looks smaller now, more fragile, and you realise how old she must be to have seen the collapse firsthand. You idle a little in the lab in case she asks for anything else, but she remains silent, and so you drift back into the tunnel of thoughts of that other sleeper and where they ended up, weighing on your mind. I got an upgrade. So this is all still going here. With a couple of clubhead caps, Rico can extract the miraculous stabilizer they produce. It's a hard thing to believe. So, repeatable action. 3 upgrade points. Decision. I got the +2 option over here. It says 3 points. What does it improve? This agent nodes give double data rewards. Reroll all your dice once per cycle. Obsessive haggler. I'm not sure what happens if I spend them here. I'm going to try here. And I've got the points spent. Don't know if that improves anything. That's the wastes. Gather scrap. I've got to wait for thing. Cycles. Come down here. Okay, that lab is not there anymore. Got 2 stabilizer on me now, so the future way to get the stabilizer. Got to do that anyway. Looking for data here. That's giving me cryo. I repaired this unit. I can feed the stray. Not sure that does anything, but get cryo, noodle manufacturer. Already done those. They're not repeatable. Buy a ship mine core, I can sell a ship mined. I can export these cap thingies for some cryo. There are things to do up here. Yes, there's a full system flush. More progress to be made. There's a danger option with a +1 on the dice. Bliss has an idea. Da, 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 da. Positive outcomes, sealing the links is progressed. but risks condition. Yeah, I'm doing it. And over here, tank. Typically the way to fix this kind of leak is to painstakingly inspect and reseal the entire ship's cladding, but is there time? And there's a time limit on this, completing this. I'm working on it now. Alright. I've used up all my dice, 2 to complete. Buy a meal there. I'm going to go back here and end the cycle. Not that great. I think I'll take it. Oh. There's stuff to do there. Gonna come back to that. I would like to come here. I'm gonna try it. Okay. I want to get this done, so I've got... Oh no, I can't. I can only do that at once. Do it here. I want to get this done. As you both wait in the airlock for it to cycle back to the bay, Bliss thumps you on the arm. Nicely done, Sleeper. We cleared that contract, no problem, she stretches. Once we are back in the bay, we can check the payment has come through and divide it up. She stretches, feels good. The airlock clunks and the lights flicker, and a moment later you are back in the bay, where Moritz is at the racks trying to figure out where the mess of tools Bliss left in her wake should be hung. Hey, Moritz. Moritz looks over his shoulder. Sleeper. He spins a wrench in his hand. Look like clean work out there. He nods respectfully. You look over at Bliss, who is already gliding over to her management console. She twirls a little as she crosses the cavernous bay. No one you've ever met moves as well in 0G as she does. It was like she was born into it. Shit, she slams a fist onto the console. Shit. What's up? I can't even. Bliss closes her eyes. Come here, Bliss calls you over. Look at this, just look. She spins the terminal screen and you see the details for the bay's account. You see an entry for the Ember's wake, a repair fee paid in full the moment you finished up the job, but then directly after, the whole amount was transferred back out into an unknown account. What the hell? This is the work of my ex. She punches the terminal. He must have coded a backdoor into the machine before he left. She rubs her forehead. There's no way we can... She pauses, thinking, Moritz, throw me that wrench. You gonna fix it? Moritz spins the wrench across the bay. Bliss smiles, something like that. Bliss brings the wrench down on the terminal hard. You flinch backwards as a hail of computer parts spill up into the bay in a glittering arc, fragments of screen memory, sections of the casing. When Bliss is done, she clips the wrench to her tool belt. Try backdooring your way into that, you shit. Morris drifts out from his hiding place amongst the racks. Bliss, he says tentatively, you want me to... He looks at the arc of fragments drifting around the bay nervously. Bliss shakes her head. No, she sighs, I've got it. You go get me a new terminal, cheapest you can find, cobble one together from pieces of the ore exchange if you have to. Can I help? Bliss glides over to the panel by the wall. Don't worry, one of the first things I had installed when we spec'd out this place was a cleaning sweep. She flicks over a plastic cover on a huge red button. Watch yourself. She hammers the button and a row of laser emitters unfold from the bay wall. They start crawling their way across the work area, frying the debris as they do in pulses of burning light. Bliss smiles. It's that or just space the whole bay every few cycles. What now? Bliss sighs. We keep at it. The cleaning sweep buzzes and crackles as it works its way across the bay. That account wasn't everything. I'm not that stupid. Once Moritz gets back, I'll secure it and flush everything else. She flicks a nearby piece of debris into the path of the sweep. Clean break. Then we take another contract, that's it. She shuts off the sweep and it reaches the near end of the bay. I'm in. You better be, Bliss laughs, because there's no way you are getting your investment back unless you are. She rubs her forehead. I'm sorry, Sleeper. I know you worked for this too, but next time won't be the same. That's okay. Better not be. She looks away. See you in a few cycles, Moritz will let you know. She kicks off into the bay to finish cleaning up. So here, fresh contract. All you can do is move on and wait for Bliss to land another contract, maybe this time. Down here, what's this? Even before you enter the office, you can hear the sound of Rabia working the heavy bag. She is hammering it, the train creaking as it shakes with each hit. She's been like this since Sabine doesn't finish the sentence. They are sitting on a stool looking at the terminal in the corner, searching through the SNR data you pulled all those cycles ago. Is she okay? Just angry, we all are, but you have to remember she knew Yannick for a long time. Sabine glances nervously at Rabia. What SNR data? Rabia stops punching, and in the silence you can hear her breathing hard. Sabine looks over at her and you sense something between them. You realise you haven't seen them together since they tried to kill each other in the same unit. A lot has changed since then. They hooked him up like a puppet. Rabia hits the bag, rigged that thing in his head so they could control him and push the old Yannick out. I don't know why he let them in. Rabia throws a few more punches, but it's a lesson, don't let them in. Another flurry. Yet again, shouldn't deal with corporations, and we never will again. She spits. She comes away from the bag. At least Yannick's death has been treated as natural. There's a chance we come back from this, that yet again can hold on. But there are opportunists trying to take control. Sabine turns to you. Yes, but now the connection has been broken. I've been looking at removing the trackers from the implants in yet again's enforcers. It's a significant job, but I think with time I can do the surgeries. Rabia walks away from the bag towards the far side of the unit. Those surgeries will never happen if yet again collapses. She shouts back at Sabine. Clearly this is a well-worn argument in this unit. Will yet again really collapse? What now for you? Sabine looks over at Rabia. I want to help fix this mess if I can. There's the implants and I want to return to my surgery. The low end needs doctors. What I understand now is that yet again can be something, if we want it to be. Coming here from S&R from the core worlds, all I saw was a gang, and with Yannick keeping me on a tight leash, they shudder. Rabia believes, and I want that belief. They look unsure. I also want to be done with S&R, but I doubt they are done with me. They glance away, rubbing their shoulders. Are you in, Rabia? I hope you are right. Sabine fixes you with a look. Yes, Sleeper, isn't that obvious? They smile. I've been wanting to say, Sabine begins nervously. I'm sorry that I didn't tell you where I came from. I know I've apologised before, but I want to again. They pause properly. When I leaked the data on the Sleeper program, it was to try to help people like you. They grit their teeth. But after all the cycles here, being pushed down, pushed around, trying to survive, all that got away from me. So when you turned up, they sigh. It shook me up. They run a hand through their hair, but I ended up here, so they look at Rabia. And of course, they reach into a pocket and take out a handful of vials. These are the last of the case. You can have them. They drop them into your hands. After these last few, I don't know what we can do. With the SNR connection broken, they look down. But I know there are other ways, repairs, other pharmaceuticals. I even heard there were some labs out on the Greenway. Perhaps they can help. They meet your eye. I'm sorry I can't do more. Thank you for everything. They look away, their eyes bright with tears. Rabia crosses back to you both and sits beside Sabine. They look at each other, and you can't help but smile at the idea of them together. What are you two plotting? Rabia grins. Sabine laughs, and the sound is a welcome one. You watch the two of them teasing each other and smile. Later, when you leave, you take that handful of vials out of your pocket and look at them. You can still feel that core of anger deep down inside, and you don't know if it will ever leave. But S&R doesn't owe you anymore. They can't, because this place, these people owe you. They are what makes you get up every cycle. They are what keeps you breathing. You put the vials away and walk through the low end, your senses tuned to every sight, every smell and every sound, soaking it all in, living. Upgrade point. I now got 5 of these stabilizers. That ought to last a while. And in here, still waiting for Fang, another 3 cycles to go. So what can I do? Come in here. I still need that cipher and I don't have it. I've got to pick a new crack Conway, meet Faye in the Greenway. Deal with the killer, gain mainframe access, disable your tracker, help Faye chase his leads. Enter the Greenway, unlock the Greenway gate, and help Bliss complete. I'll track that one for now. Sure what else to do. Rubbish dice left. Looking for a 2. I have 3 dice left. I'm probably looking for a safe option. I think I may hang out with Mina as a safe option. And I'll get some energy from that. I'm ready to end cycle. The new cycle begins with not bad dice. And 27 minutes on the clock, so see you next time.